Hi, this is Martha Hamlin from Wide Awake Business, and you're in the Show Me How To section of the Customer Navigator. This is where we show you short, quick takes on some of the insights that are most important to your business, and also things that you've asked us about, plus some of the things that Chris or I have on our minds that we really, really believe that you need to know. And this is a good example. We get asked questions all the time about how to become known in my market. How do people know I'm out there so that I'm not just sitting out there as one more element, one more person? Well, that's what we're going to talk about in this Show Me How To. And I have some good news for you, I think. I think you'll embrace this. Being known changes your business. Being known enables you to do so many things because people are talking about you or sharing information about you. And that enables your business to move forward with some fuel in its tank. Now, based on research, more good news for you, based on research, there are 4 key elements to being known. Only 4. And we're going to talk about all 4 of them. But before we do that, let's define a little bit about what we mean by being known, because it's not the same as being famous. We're not talking about having your star on the Walk of Fame. We're not talking about turning into the next Oprah Winfrey or Tony Robbins. We're not talking about millions of fans and TV appearances. That's not what we're talking about when we're talking about being known. That's being famous. Here's what we mean when we talk about being known. It's about approaching your web presence, your stage presence, your email, your phone, how you come to market, your presence, with an intent that creates the proper authority, reputation, and audience to realize your potential and achieve your goals, whatever they might be in your business. So let me say that again, because I think that's important. This is what we mean by being known. It's about approaching your presence wherever, on stage, on your internet site, in any of your social media, with an intent that creates the proper authority, reputation, and audience, because those 3 elements gain people's attention. You have to be an authority, you have to build your reputation, and you have to have an audience to realize your potential and achieve your goals, whatever they might be, regardless of the field that you're in, regardless about whether you're a chiropractor or you're a financial strategist or you're a coach, regardless of the field that you're in. Every person, every field, in every region of the world, the same 4 elements, the same 4 steps create a known entity, take someone from unknown to known. So let me show you in a story, because you know both of these people probably, Oprah Winfrey and Tony Robbins, and they did not start out their lives, they didn't leap from birth as a success coach or as the guru of everything. I can never exactly explain what Oprah is a guru of, but we all think she's a guru of everything, I think. Right? They didn't just come out and say, wow, this is me, and everyone applauded and agreed. They worked on it. They had to discover that they were writing and they were speaking, and maybe nobody was watching and paying attention in the beginning, and then a few people did. And then those people started to share, and they continued to write and talk and speak. And maybe they worked through some affiliate people who were well known, and they were enabling them to build their reputation. Right? They didn't just fall to earth completely filled and exact and known, and now, frankly, famous. Here's what they did do, and here's what's in it for you. Here's why it was important that they moved from nobody knows them to being known. Because the fact that they're known for something today, provides them with a permanent and a sustainable advantage. It opens new doors. It creates exciting new business opportunities and establishes a buffer against market changes that will sweep others away. This will not happen to you when you are known. You will have a permanent and sustainable advantage. You will have new business opportunities, and you'll have a buffer against any market changes that will sweep other people away because they don't have an advantage. They're not known for something. So as you know, because you've wanted to figure out how to be known, this can make the difference in your business. So what are these 4 elements, you ask? Here they are. And we'll talk about each of them. The first is you must have sustainable interest. The second is the space in which you're operating. the marketplace. The third is the fuel you put into the tank of this known vehicle. And the fourth is your audience. So let's take a look at each one of them. Sustainable interest. This is one of the things I think that might surprise some of you. Successful people, and this is from the research, successful people don't always follow their passion. I get a lot of, well, my passion is I don't want to do this business anymore. I want to follow my passion. I want to do X instead. I want to give away the thing that's made me money and I've done for years, and I want to do it in favor of doing something else. Well, successful people don't follow their passion, but their passion will follow them. See the difference? The characteristics of successful people are they love what they're doing. But more important than that, the topic they choose is sustainable. It's not a topic that blows in the wind that will change over time. It is a sustainable topic, and it's got a big enough audience to matter. It's not tiny, 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 and it's not gigantic, gigantic, gigantic. It's got to be big enough to enable you to achieve your goal, but yet small enough to be doable. You don't have to be known by the entire universe, the entire world. You want to be known by a size of an audience that fits your business size. And as small business owners, that's smaller than Tony Robbins. And the audience is willing to pay for it. If the audience isn't willing to pay for it, then it's really time to move on, because you're in a space where maybe it's important and the message is great, but they either believe they need to get it for free, or they should be getting it for free, or they're just not willing to pay for it. It's not a problem big enough to interest them. So that's the first, sustainable interest. The second is the space. So the key to success is how much competition is in this space. Usually, in today's market, there's a lot. There's a lot of experts out there. So then the question for you is, what are you doing that's unique? What is the space that you can own? So I'll give you an example. We have a care management company that we work with, and there's a lot of care management companies out there, thousands and thousands all across the world. And when I talk with them, they have a tendency to tell me that they all do the same thing. It's the qualifications for being a care manager in the first place. Well, the space that our client owns is she takes a very complex topic, medical care for your elders, a topic and a space that you probably don't go through with great frequency, and she simplifies every step of the way. And the thing that makes her unique, the space that she can occupy in this very busy field, is the simplification of care for the elderly, for your seniors. And she can dominate the space because nobody else is talking about it. The space is the second element that makes you known. So what is your key to success? How much competition is out there? And what makes you different? Why do we need one more chiropractor? Why do we require one more coach? You've got to do something different, because then you can dominate that space. Third, fuel. Content is the fuel of this digital age. Content, blogs, podcasts, videos, emails, voice phone calls. And doing something regularly. Getting known means getting out there. You can't sit back in your office and wait for people to come by, because they're not going to. You have to reach out to the market in some way, shape, or form, and content is the fuel in today's digital market. And whatever it is that you're doing, begin to do it with consistency. Consistency of the topic and consistency of the frequency. So the example I just gave you. So the simplicity should always be the topic that they're talking about. I take this is complicated, here, look how we made it simple. Took this topic, look how we make it simple. And do it with frequency. Blog on a regular basis every Wednesday. Put a podcast out every Tuesday. Whatever you're doing it with frequency and consistency enables people to grab a hold of you. Reaching out to them once every 3 weeks, as an example, is the maximum amount of time you can go between reaching out or putting a piece of information, content out there, because otherwise people forget who you are and they kind of have to re-engage with you all over again. And the fourth element is your audience. The value of your content, listen to this, we just talked about content. The value of your content is actually zero unless people see it and they share it, unless people see it and they say, hey, take a look at this. Think of all the articles that you've seen on Facebook or LinkedIn that people have shared or they sent you an email. Then the content becomes valuable. Build an audience that's big enough to make your goal happen. Not so big that you can't handle it, not so big that you require thousands and thousands of dollars that you may not have. An audience that's big enough to get started, then you can build your audience as you go. And it's an actionable audience beyond social media. Social media, I think, is a really wonderful place to establish a relationship. But that audience is not your audience until they leave social media to come over to your website or pick up the phone and call you or reach out through a landing page that you offer to them. Now they have connection and you have an actionable audience. Connect, support, help your audience with their goals, not giving away your stuff for free, but providing small tidbits of information. Support your audience with their goals, and they will support you in yours. And then just recognize this isn't going to happen overnight. If you're just starting your business, you're not going to become known in a week or two. It might take a year, maybe 2 years or 3 years. It's consistency, and it gets you to your dream. But it can happen when you use these 4 ingredients. And it can happen because you, I know, are driven by more than just merely selling your stuff. You're driven to change people's lives. It's the purpose that keeps you going. Create a plan and stick to it, because this will provide the missing advantage to your business. When you go from who to being known by your audience, your business will change. So now you know the 4 steps to being known. Get in gear and get started.